Hey everybody, would you like to learn how to make some fun and very easy watercolor roses into bookmarks if you have never watercolored before and you'd like to make some fun and quick additions to your junk journals? These make great options for you, and anybody can paint this way at your first sitting. So let's give this a go. I'm using some inexpensive paints. I think I got these at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and I just got some I'm using fluid watercolor paper, hot press finish. You can use any watercolor paper, will work with this technique. I made 2 of these. Basically, I just cut this paper in half. That's how I had room for 2 roses. So let's make a rose. Did I say this is Pam at the Paper Outpost? I don't remember. Anyway, it's me, guys. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take some red and I'm going to load my brush. Now, this kind of brush is... this is Neptune number 4 if you want to know the official one, but basically it's a graduated brush. It's a full brush, round brush with a point tip. And the whole idea behind this technique is you make a center spot and then you just place staggered flower petals around it. And I'll show you how to do that. Basically what you do, take it in a little closer, is you do a little central disc and make sure you don't have too much wetness on your brush. Little bit there. Okay, there's your disc. And now we're going to just do some random petal-like things that are going to come out from that. Okay, so, and the whole deal is they don't, see how this one connects in the middle? They don't connect where it ends. You always start somewhere in the middle of a petal to do the next one. So let's say if I want to do one here, I'm going to start in the middle of this one. I'm going to come around here and do that one. And then this one, just a little bit of waveroo and connect it in the middle of that one. And then maybe here, might do one in the middle of this one that's going to come around into the middle of that. Fit that in a little bit. And you might want to make a more pronounced center. So it's the center of your rose, which tends to be a little bit darker. And there's a very loose watercolor rose. Now let's make another one. They all come out different and they only take a few minutes to make, but they're a lot of fun. If you've never played with this technique before, you can make them wavy, you can make them not so wavy. They always come out different no matter what you do. Okay. Oops. All right, we'll just pull that there. And let's see, let's do this guy here. Yeah. Maybe make him give a little bit more of a center to that rose. All right. So there we have some basic rose shapes. And then let's go ahead and do the leaf and stem. These are also quick and easy. So I've got a dirty water brush and I've got a bucket and a clean water bucket. So I've got a clean brush and I'm going to start with some green. Oops, can't see that. Let me back you up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start with some green. And you can mix this in the little palettes if you want, or you can mix it right on your paint. Sometimes it's a good idea to mix it in the palette so you have a little extra to work with. You need to get a little bit more water, more green, a little brown just to anchor it, make it a little, not quite so bright green like grass green, more like rose stem green. Okay, then I'm going to take off the excess on my brush, bring it to a point. Then I'm going to do a line straight and then turn it, okay? A line straight and then turn it. Okay, now they're generally, roses are thinner, the stems are a little thinner at the top and then a little thicker at the bottom, but not much difference when you're talking about a rose. So kind of keep them pretty much like that, not too thick at the bottom. And then when you want to attach it to the flower head itself, give it this little, you know, it has that little, there's a name for it, who knows the name? You know, that thing that attaches it. And it's okay if you run into your pink or your red because it's going to blend, and that's what watercolors do. They blend, which is really pretty. So, and then you've got these little things, these little like things, sepals they might be. Not sure. I might have the wrong word there. I'm not a rosologist, but I try. Okay, so you've got those little things. And what else might make it look like a rose are some little rose leaves. So maybe do a little leaf or two. Okay, and maybe a little leaf there. Okay, that was kind of a long stem, but an easy way you can make a rose leaf is you just do a press and then a release, and then kind of attach it. A press and then a release, and just kind of attach it to the stem. A press and then a release and attach it. And a press. So the brush basically makes the leaf shape for you, and if you paint neatly. And that's pretty much how it's done. So then what you can do if you want to amp it up a little bit, don't have to, but this is an option. There's my blotter. Okay, just blotting a little bit here, but I want a clean brush to start with, so I'm going back in my dirty water and then my clean water, getting a clean brush. But I'm going to come here with a damp brush, and I am just going to spread a little bit of the watercolor around. Not everywhere. I still want to have a lot of white space, but it just helps that watercolory sort of translucent look to it, and you can move the pigment with your brush. And you can also, there's a million and one ways to do this. This is just one way. If you want a little more color, let's say this rose, you want a little more color in this area, just put a couple extra dots, and the water will carry the color to the different areas on your rose. There we go. I'll give those like a little extra touch. I want some emphasis. Just gives it a little depth when you add a little extra color like that. And that's pretty much it. So that's how you get your loose watercolor roses. And once you paint those, then let's go on to the next step. Hold on. Okay, what I'm going to do, this is a dried one. I'm going to go ahead and use my guillotine cutter to cut this equally in half, and then I will have my 2 bookmarks. Okay, so I cut those. Hang on here. Shrink that down a little bit. Okay, and these are nice and dry, and I'm going to use my crocodile corner chomper, and I'm going to round the corners just to give it a little bit of a finished edge. You don't have to. This is optional. A million and one ways you could finish these up. All right, this guy. And poor corner chomper, I have dropped him on the floor, but he still works. So we're hanging in. We're hanging in. All right. So I have a little bit of extra white space at the top of these, and that's where I thought I would come in and add a little ruffle, and I'll show you how to do that. It's very easy. But first up, what I did was I sewed around the outside with a zigzag stitch. So let's go over there. Okay, hi everybody. This is me and my beloved brother, Project Runway Limited Edition. And I've got it on number 4, which is the zigzag stitch. I've got white thread. I'm just going, I don't know, this clean white sort of feel, crisp. There's something, I don't know, nostalgic about roses on white, which I think is beautiful. And that's my African gray parrot, Holly, in the background doing his African gray sing-song. Somebody asked me, what is all that noise in the background? Oh, my goodness, if I could only tell you. It's quite the zoo here. We have a parrot, 2 lovebirds, a little Maltese pup named Sunshine, and my hubby. So, full house, lots of pets, lots of animals, well lived in. Every nook and cranny is well lived in. Okay, so there we go. Coming around the mountain, almost done this one. And I am going to back and forth it a little bit because I don't want this to come undone, because it's going to be handled a lot. This is a piece that's handled a lot, so it's going to be handled a lot. It's okay to do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the ribbon on now. And I'm just grabbing my ribbon. I haven't left yet. So what I'm going to do, can you see this? I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to ribbonize it. Yep, this is what I'm doing, ribbonizing. Yep, can you see? No, okay. Trying to do this in front of the camera and do it at the same time is a little tricky. Okay, so there. So I got as much as like I can hold on to. And then when I can't hold on to any more, I cut the end off. Whoops, I cut the end off. Okay, there. Oh, now it all course came undone because I pulled it. Oh, there go the scissors. Yep, total kibosh. All right, let me try that again. So ribbonizing, 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 and not letting go. That's right, that's the whole idea. Then you run over here, and it's easier, I think, if the ripples are down because then it's easier for machine to grab them. We'll see. I mean, that's my theory. Seamstress, jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, and I'm not doing any back stitch. I'm just doing a zigzag right over this whole darn thing. And just hoping it grabs everything. But it comes out this kind of a shabby chic, rustic sort of farm, French, provincial. Yeah, that's what I tell myself. Okay, so let's go back over here. We got that done. Hold on. Okay, we're back over here. So we have now created this, and the nice thing about bed sheets, the cotton bed sheets, they tear really well, and they give you those nice little fuzzies. Maybe he'll go better like that. And I just took some Fabrifix glue, which I have transferred into an icing piping bottle. I used the Sugar Bells one because that's the one I learned about first. So there's a link if you're looking for those in the Amazon shop, but you can use any icing piping bottles that have a nice narrow top. That will help you. Hello. Huh. My little dog just came tearing in here. Okay, so there you go. And that is pretty much it. So you can go ahead and decorate the back if you so choose, or if it's a watercolor, you could sign it, or you could put a stamp or your personal stamp on the back or something like that, or maybe a note to the recipient, something like that. But then you get these beautiful, very authentic watercolor, loose watercolor roses. And they're a lot of fun, and they're very beautiful. So I hope you give this a try. I want you to think that these are possible for you, and they are, because they're not that hard. And it's not that hard to do a rose, but see how they all come out completely different? I mean, you just never know. And I think it's the difference in them that makes them look unique. So I think that can be a lot of fun. So I hope you had fun with this. And let's see, maybe we have a little extra time here. What else can we do? Hold on. If you've never seen, if you got a block of watercolor paper, but you've never figured out how to get the paper off, here, I'll just show you quickly how to do it. Not really rocket science. I take a butter knife, and it's basically glued on either side to keep the paper flat while you're painting and while it's drying. And there, when you're done, you can just pop it off. Probably better to wait till it dries, but oh well, who has patience for that? Okay, so now we have a clean sheet, and I'm going to show you a different flower that you can make that is really easy if you can't do the swiggle. Let's say the little squiggle freaks you out, and you're just saying, yeah, that's great for you, Pam, but you know, those of us who haven't swiggled, whoops, that's just way too intimidating, and we would like to see an option. And okay, here comes your big option. All right, you got your watercolor paper. You're thinking one of these on either side. Maybe this time we're going to do purple. All right, let's do some purple. Load her up. And these are going to be like I don't want to say like a wheat stalk or something. Very simple idea, but very easy to do. The top one is just that. And then you do this. And as you see, it sort of creates the look of maybe, this would be like a very large lavender flower. Something like that. Okay. And then we'll do one over there too. Let me just get a little bit more water for my purple, my intense purple. And you could even use different shades of purple, like maybe you want to do a lighter one over here. Okay, we can try a lighter one. Let's do a lighter one. This is, oh, we can't see. Let me move it up. Let me move all these dunsies over there before I get purple on them, because that will happen. Okay. Purple. This is a completely different purple because I've mixed a couple purples together. If you use a smaller brush, you get a smaller flower. You can do 2 across, you can do 3 across. Doesn't matter. And if you bring them kind of a little tighter when you get to the end, it makes a little bit of a stalk. I'll just kind of cheat on this one. And then I'm going to rinse out. You don't have to rinse it out too much because we're going to go to a darker brown, and that will mask the purple. I put a lot of water in this. Probably don't want to put that much water. Just a little bit of water. Okay, way too much water. Okay, and then your stem. That's what my brush looks like on the end. Okay. Yeah, see that? Yeah, like flat, like a butter knife on the end. Yeah, okay. And there you go. So you can be hand painting some beautiful, whimsical, light, loose watercolors. Watercolor is probably one of the most forgiving mediums. Even a messy painter can create something amazing with very little effort, very little energy. And, you know, you can be a Rembrandt before you know it. So I hope you give these a try. They're certainly a lot of fun. And if you're like brave, let's say you're like, okay, now I'm feeling it. I got this, Pam. I'm going home with this the whole way. All right, well, maybe you want to do like one in the background. Okay, so here's one in the background. A little petal in the back. It's a different little flower back here. You can only see part of it because it's behind. It's kind of hidden, and maybe it's going to come out over here. Okay. Just doing little ones of these. I got probably too much water on here. Yep. Okay, and it's a little tiny thing and a little dash of the brown. Just take it home. Okay, so now we are cross-pollinating. Totally right. Okay, there's one. So we're using the brush to make the little petals. Okay, so we're going to go across. This one's going to kind of hide behind everybody here. It's going to come out over here. A little bit of the brown. There. All right. No, oops. Okay, let me rinse the brown off. Okay, I'm wiping on this to dry it off a little bit. And if I think that's too brown, I can remove some of it. See that? You can do that with watercolor. You can take it away. You can add it, or you can take it away with the watercolor brush. So let me just get that in there. Fill it in a little bit more where it was empty. There. Okay. Maybe I need another petal there. Another petal there. You can always add petals. There's nothing wrong with that. And let's see. This guy, he might have another skinny one beside him. Maybe he's just got little Joe beside him. All standing solitary and by himself. He's a little skinnier, little Joe. Just using this back and forth technique, letting the brush do the work. Yep, very fun. And then get a little brown. And just a little thin. Okay, and if you think, hey, too brown, because that happens, maybe you had more paint than you wanted on there, just come along, you clean your brush off, and you remove some of the paint. You can also do this with a Kleenex. You can daub and blot and things like that. Now let's say it's raining out and you want to play in your watercolor because you spent the $5 on the very expensive set and you're going to give this a go. You're just going to go for it. So you're wetting up a blue. It's kind of soppy woppy. Okay, here we go. Ready? We're going to do the tap technique. Oh boy. You're going to go everywhere. Don't go on my roses. It's raining here, but not on the roses. Okay, so you can do a nice splatter technique to give yourself some background. Very easy to do. Blends nice with your colors. There you go. You can put as many or as few as you like on there. And so just something fun to think about. And you can create these pretty quickly, and it's just really the cost of some watercolor paper, which you don't have to buy the fancy stuff. I recommend trying the cheap stuff first if you've never watercolored, but if you've never watercolored, there's a lot of fun things that you can do. So many different kinds of flowers and things that you can make with, you know, you don't need to be a grandmaster watercolor to have fun watercoloring. That's what I want you to know, is that you too can watercolor, even if you thought you were never safe in the room with watercolor. And let it dry, because it's going to totally change once it dries. The pigments are moving around as the water dries. It's pulling pigments depending on where the water is, where it's dry and where it's wet. So you're going to see things change a little bit. You can actually come back in and enhance with a pencil or a marker, a black marker, to give it more shape if you so choose, or you could just leave it all wispy like this. So I hope that gives you some fun ideas. Okay, let's try one more flower. What the heck, we got time. Where am I going, right? All right, here we go. One more flower? Okay, another easy flower. All right, I'm just going to get the knife trick going here. There we go. And YouTube's a great watercolor instructor. If you're looking for good watercolor instructors, there's great ones out there. I'll try and put some links down below. There are some good ones. Emma Lefebvre, Frugal Crafter, of course. There's Fine Arts, I think it's called. I'll put some links if you want to explore more. Shada Campbell, she's a very good watercolor artist. Okay, so let's just play. All right, let's do maybe some orange flowers with a little bit of coral. How about that? All right, so let's just do, let's try these. You can use these petal things in many ways. Okay, and we'll just do 3 here, 4, maybe 3 big ones. Now, the closer something is to you, the bigger it will be. The farther something is, the smaller it will be. And let's try adding a little ball at the top. So these are almost like daisies or something you're looking at their side. And let's try yellow balls. There we go. I've cross-mixed and cross-pollinated here so many times. Oh, I'm such a bad crafter. Okay, bad painter. Okay, here we go. Reckless abandon happening. So here's the ball, the top. It's going to mix with the colors. That's fine. I don't mind if it does. Okay, that's that little ball thing that most flowers have. The little nubbaroo, right? And let's say I don't like the way that's bleeding in there. That's kind of weird. Well, if I dry off my brush, if I rinsed it, which I didn't, but if I dry off my brush, I can actually remove some of the paint that way, which is kind of cool. That's a cool thing about watercolor. You can remove as you go. If you catch it before it dries, you can do that. So let me just put another little bit more down here. And rinse that off. Dirty water, clean water. Dab, 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 dab. And then maybe more of the yellow near the top. We'll let it run down. Yeah, it'll probably figure things out. Watercolor has that way of doing that. Let me just put down this way a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's kind of a big ball, isn't it? Well, you know, never said I was Rembrandt. But anyway, let's try some stems. Well, these would probably have pretty bright green stems. Let's try, take a little of the water away. And if you're worried about things running into each other, just bring it close, but don't attach it right away. And then you can always do it later when things dry a little bit more. There we go. Now that's looking a little funky, so I'm going to clean my brush. Okay, I'll show you how it works with the tissue. You can come in here and you can tissueize it. That's called tissueizing. There, now we've removed some of that, and it's not so in your face, all blenderoo. Now it's kind of more milky wilky. Yes, here we go. Let's put a longer one there. I felt you need, oh, I think I was in the wrong color. Oh, that's okay though. This is my flower and I can make it any way I want. Okay, there, okay. A little longer. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so lots of fun to be had, and you could just, you know, crank out bunches of these. So you have, oh, yep, there went my blue. It's on my rose. Now this is probably going to leave a mark, so I might just have to cover this in blue. Yep, there's the mark. Sometimes once it dries too much, it's there. But anyway, here's this one. Here is, I will call this the giant lavenders, the rose, and what's the other one we did? Oh, this one. Yeah, this guy here. No, we can do a double of him. We have time. Okay, let's do it. All right. Let's get this wet again. Dirty water, clean water. Dab, dab. And, oh, I got somebody who wants to play down below. Yeah, I see you. I'll play. Give Mama a few minutes. We'll be there. All right, so let's do this guy. It's better if I bring that one down a little more. It's the way a flower really kind of does it. Do one there, and there. Here, here, here. They can be very faint too. They don't have to be very intense to give you that flower-like feeling. Let me zoom you in here so you can see. A little more light on the subject. More light. Okay. And a little more paint. Here we do a little flower down here. 1, 2. Now, of course, I said a little one, but this one's closer to you, so it would actually look bigger. But if it's a little flower, it might not look bigger. Okay. Maybe we need a little more color with these guys. Here, so you can show up on camera. All right. Now we're coming in with the central ball. Okay, dirty water, clean water. Dab, dab, dab. All right, so now let's do, how about this dark, can you see that? It's like a green, it's like a teal. Okay. And let's just do, whoops, lower ball. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to let that do what it will. I'm not going to dictate where it's going to go. I'm just going to let it be and find its way. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes less is more, and you can leave a few little white spots. That's okay. And I'm liking that one the way it's bleeding. I like that one the way it's bleeding. And this one's got a harsh line, and I feel like I need to soften that line a little bit. And there's a couple ways again. Here, dirty water, clean water, dab, dab. And then you can kind of move and drag the paint down, and it will go. And I've softened the line. I want to bring this paint down a little bit more. Can do that. It's still wet here, so I can kind of play in this area. And that will take it in all sorts of different directions. All right, take that little purple out of, or the blue out of there. There we go. I'm going to take this out of there, not so much. Okay, maybe I don't want blue there. And I'm like erasing. I'm erasing with my watercolor, which is kind of cool. This one I kind of like. I think that's kind of neat. And so these are very loose flowers. And let's just put some stems. You don't always have to have stems. Sometimes flowers just float through the air on their own in somewhere. I'm sure that happens. And we'll go with some more little green stems. Little green stems. I need more water. You'll kind of get to know how much water. You'll find out when it's too much. Your paint and your pigment runs all over the place. If it's too little, it doesn't go anywhere. There's a happy place in the center. And you'll figure it out in time. Yep. Okay. All right, there we go. Ooh, yep, there we go. And here we go. Oh, okay, that's really close to that one. That's okay, though. Whoop. There we go. All right. And maybe you want to put a few little leafies. Just maybe wispies. Okay. Just say we were there. All right. So now you've got all sorts of fun going on, and that's as easy as it can be. So I want you to explore, stretch your horizons, and try some things that maybe you haven't tried, like watercolor. The loose flowers are probably the easiest, and I think some of the most fun things to paint, because it's just keep trying. They'll come out cool. Just keep going with it, and you'll learn exactly how much paint, how much water, that kind of stuff. But these are great entry-level flowers to practice with. There's lots of videos out there on these, and I just say go for it and have some fun. Is this the one we made? I think this is the one we made earlier. It dried. So that's what we got. So let me just show you a little closer so you can see it. Yep, 2 totally different flowers. They always come out different every time. Almost looks like wallpaper, doesn't it, from the Victorian age? Okay, now I may be stretching that, but it does to me. Okay, everybody, I hope you had some fun today. I hope you tried something different. And you can certainly add your painting or watercolor skills to your junk journals, because there's a million and one things you can make with watercolor. So you don't ever have to worry about any copyright issues. You can make these beautiful babies. You can print them out as many times as you want. You can use them ad lib, because they are yours and yours to create. And I recommend you signing them, because don't be afraid to sign your work. I think it's a good thing, and it shows that, hey, you know, this was handmade, truly handmade by somebody out there. And so if you had fun, if you found value here, please like, subscribe, and share. Click the notification bell. I've got links to my Amazon store, my Etsy shop, and my free monthly emailed newsletter down below every video. My videos come out Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Podcasts come out Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Etsy, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We've got a Facebook group. Come on over. We're having lots of fun over there doing weekly and monthly challenges and doing things from the videos that you see here. So I hope you guys are having a blast. I know I'm having a blast with you. Let's launch into 2021 with Footloose, Fancy Free, lots of Reckless Abandon. Let's just see what we can make. Hey, let's go play with the papers. I'll see you next time. Bye.